Hey there. So, in this explainer, we're going to tackle something that can make your English conversations feel, well, a little clunky. We're talking about how to agree with someone, not just in a correct way, but in a way that sounds totally natural, like you've been speaking English your whole life. And trust me, it's way easier than it sounds.
All right, let's dive right in. You know how sometimes you find yourself just saying, me too, or I agree again and again? Yeah, they're not wrong, but they can sound a little repetitive, a bit robotic. We're here to give you some much better options that'll make your conversations flow. Okay, just look at this comparison here. I mean, the stuff on the left is technically fine, right? But the conversation on the right, it just flows so much better, doesn't it? It sounds more connected, more fluent. And that's exactly what we're aiming for today. And believe it or not, we're going to master this whole thing with just 4 little words. That's it. We'll break them down into 2 pairs, one for all the positive stuff and one for the negative stuff. All right, so first up, let's talk about agreeing with positive statements. This is for when someone says something they like or something they do, the good stuff. That's where so and to come into play. Okay, now pay close attention because this is the really important part. When you use so, it kicks off the sentence, and then you do this little switcheroo with the verb and the subject. So it's so am I. But with to, it's easier. It just hangs out at the end of a normal sentence. I can too. See the difference? And just to be super clear, both of these mean the exact same thing. So do I or I do too, they're basically just different ways of saying me also. So really, you can just pick whichever one rolls off the tongue easier for you. Okay, so we've got the positive side down. Now let's flip it and look at how to agree with negative statements. When someone says something with a not in it, like, I don't like that or I can't go. And you're going to see the pattern here is pretty much the same. Neither starts the sentence and does that same verb-subject flip. Neither can I. And either, well, it just tags along at the end of a regular negative sentence. I haven't either. Simple, right? Okay, this is super, super important. A huge rule to remember. The word neither is already negative. Think of it as having not built right into it. What does that mean? It means the verb that comes after it has to be positive. You say, neither did I. You would never, ever, ever say, neither didn't I. That's a double negative, and it's probably the biggest mistake people make. But not you, not anymore. All right, so you might be thinking, okay, I get it, but how do I know which little verb to use? Is it am? Is it do? Is it can? How do I choose? Well, don't worry, there's a really simple trick to it. The secret is you don't have to figure it out. The other person literally tells you what to use. You just have to listen for that little helper verb in their sentence. Words like is, have, will, can, and then you just copy it. You match it in your reply. That's it. But aha, good question. What happens when there isn't an auxiliary verb? In simple sentences like, I like pizza or she went home. There's no is or can in there to copy. So what do you do then? Here's the rule for that, and this is probably the most useful trick of all. If the original sentence is in the simple present tense, you're going to use do or does. If it's in the simple past, you use did, and that's it. Since these kinds of sentences are everywhere in daily chats, knowing this is a total game changer. Okay, so you've got the grammar down now. You know the rules, but let's talk about real life, informal conversation. What's the quickest, easiest, most common way you'll hear people agree? Honestly, it's these 2 little phrases right here. For anything positive, me too. For anything negative, me neither. Seriously, these are your best friends in a casual chat. They work perfectly when you're talking about yourself, and you will hear them constantly. So let's wrap this all up into your own personal agreement toolkit. For positive stuff, you've got so do I or I do too. For negative, it's neither do I or I don't either. And then for those quick informal moments, you've got the super easy me too and me neither. You're all set. All right, time for a quick pop quiz. Let's see if you've got it. Imagine someone says to you, I've never been to Australia. How could you agree? Think about it. First, that word never makes the whole thing negative, right? And what's the auxiliary verb? It's have, from I've. So you could say, neither have I, or I haven't either. Or the super simple shortcut, me neither. See, you've got all the tools now. Go on and try using one of them in a conversation today.